Dear Leo, in just 3 days, someone close to you will reveal a side you've long felt but never fully seen, motivated by money, masked in loyalty, and destined to break open the truth. At the same time, a powerful breakthrough will be offered to you. Both will test the strength of your heart, but only one will stay. This is what this reading is here to help you prepare for. Welcome to Eternal Mindfulness, where spiritual insight meets divine timing. If you found yourself here today, please know this: it is not by accident. You were brought to this message by a force greater than coincidence. You were nudged, summoned, maybe even whispered to, because what you're about to receive is bigger than you imagined, and the universe wants you ready for it. I want to begin by asking you something only you can answer. Have you been feeling a tension around someone close, one that doesn't show up in words, but in energy? Maybe you've been second-guessing your intuition, brushing off those subtle shifts in tone, those moments where joy feels interrupted, dimmed by someone's silence. This is not paranoia. This is divine preparation. And you, Leo, were born with the fire to face truth without fear. Astrologically, the sun, your ruling force, is moving through a space in your chart that governs values, wealth, trust, and shared power. When that light shines, it doesn't just illuminate blessings. It reveals what no longer belongs in your orbit. And the one who is about to show their true face has been walking beside you for longer than you think, drawn more to your light than your soul. This video is your activation moment. The betrayal may sting, but it will also open space for what's been trying to reach you: a financial breakthrough, an unexpected opportunity, or a powerful shift in destiny that's been waiting on the other side of your honesty. But first, I want to pause and thank you. Let me take a sacred moment to express my deepest gratitude for your presence here today. Every like, every comment, every subscription brings you deeper into the heart of eternal mindfulness. Your support fuels this mission, and your energy allows messages like these to find those who need them most. Thank you from the bottom of my soul. And I promise you, if you stay with me until the final word of today's message, what you'll receive will not just answer the questions in your mind. It will echo through your spirit. The revelation is coming. The decision is yours. And your next chapter is already circling your field. So tell me, my radiant Leos, what brought you here today? What did your soul feel that made you click this message and not scroll past? Comment below to confirm it. Let your voice mark this moment. Let it become an energetic declaration that you're ready to receive the truth, the gift, and the freedom that are already making their way to you. Let's begin. You've waited, haven't you? Patiently, often silently, nurturing dreams that no one applauded, giving generously when no one was watching. And now, the air around you is charged, something is shifting. The universe, in its quiet but precise way, is returning what you've sown. But here's the sacred paradox: when the light begins to pour in, it doesn't just illuminate blessings. It also casts long, unmistakable shadows. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because light always reveals what was hidden. And that, dear Leo, is what these next 3 days will do for you. Not only are you on the brink of a financial breakthrough, one aligned with purpose and soul, but you are also about to see clearly who has been standing near you only for the harvest, and not the planting. The energy of the Six of Pentacles comes forward now, reminding us of divine reciprocity. You've given, supported, lifted others, and now, finally, life prepares to balance the scales. But with this rebalancing comes something rarely talked about in popular readings: the emotional complexity of receiving. Because receiving abundance requires space. And that space often comes from what or who must be cleared out. This isn't about revenge or bitterness, it's about integrity. About the sacred boundary between who supports your growth and who drains it. Numerologically, we're under the influence of the number 3, a sacred number of revelation and alignment. 3 is not just a countdown. It's an activation. Father, Son, and Spirit. Mind, body, and soul. Past, present, and future. And in your case, Leo, it's the time it takes for truth to rise like fire through your chest. 3 days from now, a moment will arrive. It might look ordinary. A glance, a message, a moment of silence from someone you trust. But you will feel it. That is your cue. That is the vibration of disclosure. And when that happens, your only task is to stay steady, stay present, and remember who you are. Imagine yourself standing on a golden stage, not metaphorically, but energetically. Because in the eyes of the universe, that is exactly where you are. Your spotlight is turning on, and not everyone likes the heat of your rising. You may sense discomfort in someone's gaze. Their energy might suddenly withdraw. Their voice might carry a weight of envy wrapped in politeness. And the temptation will come to downplay your light, to dim your roar, to shrink back into safety just to preserve peace. But hear me, this is not the time to be soft-spoken. This is the time to radiate in full. You're not being arrogant by shining. You're being obedient to your soul's calling. And if someone feels threatened by your growth, perhaps it's because they benefited from your silence. There's a kind of pain that doesn't scream, it whispers through fake applause and carefully timed absences. But Leo, you were not born to be tolerated. You were born to be celebrated. And now that your season is shifting, so too must your standards. This moment isn't asking you to become someone else. It's asking you to become who you were before fear taught you to play small. Your heart has always known what's real. Now your eyes will catch up. And as that happens, remember, you're not being tested to break. You're being refined to carry more abundance, more truth, more alignment. You are not under attack. You are being chosen. And sometimes, when favor finds you, it has to shake loose what was never rooted in real love to begin with. So breathe. You are safe. You are seen. And you are standing at the beginning of something magnificent, not because someone gave it to you, but because your soul has finally stretched wide enough to receive it. Keep your energy clear, your intentions honest, and your heart unafraid. The spotlight is yours, Leo, and this time, you don't have to share it with anyone who hides in your shadow. Have you felt it? That subtle, almost imperceptible shift in someone's energy, a slow withdrawal behind a familiar smile, a warmth that used to feel genuine now slightly off, just enough to leave you wondering if it's all in your head. But what if it isn't? What if your intuition has been trying to speak to you all along, not through words, but through sensations, hesitations, and quiet discomforts you've been trained to ignore? Leo, you were born with one of the most finely tuned energetic radars in the zodiac. Ruled by the sun, your heart knows when someone is not clapping for you with clean hands. And now is not the time to silence that inner voice. It's the time to listen more closely than ever. There is always a spiritual signature left behind when energy begins to misalign. People may not say it out loud, but their presence changes. The text messages come less frequently. Their questions feel rehearsed. Their support feels conditional. They start smiling at your success, but their eyes don't join the smile. They congratulate you but quickly shift the subject. They show up when they need something, but vanish when you need them. They used to feel like home. Now they feel like a performance. These are not just behavioral changes, they're energetic warnings. And you've seen them before. Maybe you've even tried to unsee them. But this time, you can't afford to pretend. In energy work, we often speak of resonance, the vibration of two souls either amplifying or canceling each other. When someone's energy no longer resonates with yours, your body knows before your mind does. You may feel drained after spending time with them. You may feel confused, guilty for thriving, or small in moments that should have been triumphant. This dissonance is not your fault, it's simply the universe realigning what no longer fits. And while it can hurt to realize someone you once loved is no longer a match to your rising frequency, there is healing in clarity. There is power in recognition. Think of a snake, ancient, intuitive, constantly shedding to survive. The snake does not mourn its old skin. It honors it, releases it, and moves forward stronger, faster, freer. And you, Leo, are being asked to do the same. This is not a betrayal of loyalty, it's an affirmation of evolution. You are not rejecting them. You are simply accepting that your paths are no longer traveling side by side. Let that truth come gently. Let it come honestly. Let it come as protection. In this season, surround yourself with sapphire blue, a color of intuitive clarity and energetic shielding. Wear it. Visualize it. Use it as a cloak that filters what you absorb and amplifies what you know. When you do, you'll find your discernment sharpening. You won't need evidence or proof. You'll just know. And that knowing is sacred. Now, if your heart has been nodding through this, even in silence, I invite you to activate this moment. Write in the comments, "I trust my intuition." Because every time you declare that, you strengthen the connection between your mind and your spirit. You signal to the universe that you are ready to see what needs to be seen, and to release what has expired. You claim your energetic sovereignty not as armor, but as embodiment. Leo, the one who walks with courage does not always walk with a crowd. And that's okay. You are not here to be surrounded by many. You are here to be surrounded by truth. And as your light grows brighter, only those who are not afraid of it will remain. This is not a punishment. This is the sacred refinement of your soul's journey, and it always begins with a whisper you were brave enough to listen to. Just 3 days. That's all it takes for an entire destiny to pivot. Sometimes, the most powerful transformations don't come with thunder or applause, but with quiet clarity, a moment so precise it splits your life into before and after. In the next 72 hours, the energy around you begins to recalibrate. The stars themselves shift, and with it, so must your inner compass. This isn't superstition, this is alignment. As the moon moves into an earth-fire combination, or clashes briefly with Venus, your emotional realm gets stirred with truths too long hidden beneath the surface. You may feel disoriented, even emotional, as if the people and structures around you are no longer holding the same shape. And that's not an illusion, that's a revelation. You see, we often live like we're looking through a dusty window. We think we see clearly, but we don't realize how fogged our perception has become until, suddenly, a shaft of sunlight pours through. The dust is illuminated. What was hazy becomes undeniable. In this moment, clarity is both blessing and burden. Because with it comes a choice. You may be shown exactly who or what has been quietly siphoning your energy, your time, your emotional availability. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Once the truth arrives, it knocks gently, firmly, but it will not wait forever at your door. So now, I gently invite you into a practice of reflection. What are 3 things or people, or beliefs that you are still holding on to, even though a quieter part of you knows they no longer belong to your future? Write them down. Name them. Not with anger, but with awareness. Because we often keep things not because they serve us, but because they're familiar. And familiarity is seductive even when it's slowly draining the life out of us. This is your opportunity to love yourself enough to choose growth, even when it means leaving behind what once gave you comfort. This is the heart of free will, the sacred power you carry every day, whether you use it or not. The universe does not impose. It invites. And now, it's inviting you to stand at this crossroads and choose. Do you remain in the illusion of ease, the predictable rhythms of old relationships and outdated dreams? Or do you finally say yes to the deeper calling that's been stirring in your spirit for months, maybe years? Remember, choosing yourself is not selfish. It is a sacred act of courage. You are not discarding others with bitterness, you are honoring your growth. You are not cutting ties in anger, you are softening into truth. Because sometimes, we don't outgrow people with noise or conflict. Sometimes, we simply outgrow them in silence, with a peace that whispers, "I've changed." So ask yourself now, truly, gently, honestly, are you ready to stop sacrificing your alignment just to maintain someone else's comfort? Are you still trying to fit into a version of yourself that no longer reflects who you've become? You don't have to answer right away. But the energy coming in over the next 3 days will bring that answer closer, whether you seek it or not. Life will present both the familiar and the unknown. One will feel easy. One will feel real. Your body will know the difference. Your heart will remember what truth feels like. Let this be the moment where you step out of the fog. Let this be the moment where you turn toward the light, no matter how blinding it may seem at first. Because what's waiting for you on the other side of this choice is not just relief. It's renewal. And you are more than ready for it. Every ritual is an invitation not to something outside of you, but to the deeper version of who you've always been. In this moment, as your path bends toward transformation, there is one thing the universe is asking you to do, not to try harder, but to tune in more consciously. To meet the incoming energy not with resistance or analysis, but with openness and embodiment. The next 3 days are not just about observing signs. They are about becoming a signal yourself, a vessel of resonance. And it begins with something simple, sacred, and surprisingly powerful: water. Water, in energy medicine and quantum biology alike, is more than hydration, it's memory. It holds vibration. It responds to words, intentions, even thoughts. When you hold water and speak into it, you are not merely performing a symbolic act. You are imprinting an energetic blueprint, coding that vibration into the cells that will soon circulate through your blood, your heart, your entire being. So when I guide you to pour a glass of water, place your hands gently around it, close your eyes, and say the words, I, Leo, release all invisible cords that hold me back, and I now receive truth, destiny, and the soul wealth that belongs to me. Know that this is not poetic metaphor. This is science meeting spirit. This is alignment becoming cellular. As you sip that water not as a task but as a vow, imagine it moving through you like golden light. Let it flood the parts of you still wrapped in hesitation. Let it touch the places that forgot they were chosen. Feel it clearing the dust from your inner altar. You are not just drinking water. You are activating remembrance. You are shifting your frequency to match the life that has been trying to find you all along. And then, once you've done that, take a breath, pick up a pen, and write your dream down. Not the filtered version. Not the practical, sensible, polite version. I'm talking about the unfiltered vision of the life you truly crave. The one that feels too big, too bold, too one day. Write it down and place it on your mirror, where your reflection meets it every single morning. Why? Because the subconscious mind doesn't manifest what you wish for, it manifests what you see consistently. When your dream meets your own eyes each morning, your brain stops categorizing it as fantasy and begins processing it as reality. And when that happens, your actions shift. Your energy follows. Your choices align. This is how we plant a seed in spirit and nurture it in the physical. This is how intention becomes matter. And this is why you can no longer wait. Not because you're behind, you're not. But because your soul is no longer content with postponing your truth. Repeat this if you feel it in your bones. I am the one. I am ready. I will not delay my calling another day. Let this ritual be your reset. Let it be the quiet rebellion against the fear that said, not yet. You don't need more time to be worthy. You don't need anyone's permission to become magnetic. You only need to decide. And this ritual, this cup of water, this declaration, this mirror of your desire, it is the beginning of that decision taking shape. Do it for 3 days. Let the ritual become rhythm. Let rhythm become reality. You are not chasing abundance anymore. You are remembering that you were always the field it was meant to bloom in. And this, dear Leo, is where you start watering the garden. When truth finally arrives, it rarely knocks gently. It often comes like wind, invisible, undeniable, sweeping through the spaces you thought were still, lifting the dust you didn't know you were breathing in. And like wind, it doesn't need your permission. It simply moves. In the coming days, Leo, you will feel this energy stir. A betrayal may unfold, not to break you, but to guide you back to the place within where your true strength resides. And while it might sting at first because betrayal always comes wrapped in the softness of familiarity, it is not here to punish you. It is here to redirect you. We've been taught that endings mean failure. That people walking away, or falling out of resonance, is somehow a reflection of our worth. But what if that's never been true? What if betrayal is not the collapse, but the crack through which clarity enters? What if the pain is not the wound, but the wake-up call? The soul's whisper turned roar that says, this is not where your next season begins. In energy psychology, we speak of transmutation, the art of turning dense energy into light, pain into purpose. This is where your choice begins. When the mask falls, when someone you once trusted shows you a version of themselves you never wanted to believe existed, you have two paths. You can collapse into reaction, or you can rise into wisdom. One path feels satisfying for a moment. The other builds an entire new life. You don't need to explain yourself. Not to them. Not to anyone. Let your stillness speak. Let your silence be the roar. Because when a Leo withdraws with grace, it is never weakness. It is a storm choosing not to destroy. This is your sacred restraint. Your royal boundary. You were born to lead, not to justify. Think of the wind again. Does it shout to be heard? No. It moves through trees, through mountains, through the stillness of dawn. It bends without breaking, it whispers without screaming, and yet, it changes landscapes. That is the kind of power that is being asked of you now. Not to retaliate. Not to roar in rage. But to shift swiftly, consciously, inwardly toward peace. Because peace is your ultimate power now. This is not a moment to seek validation from the person who hurt you. Their role in your story is not to understand your worth, it was to trigger your awakening. Their betrayal is not a verdict. It's a mirror, showing you where your own standards have softened too long, where your boundaries blurred into sacrifice, where your light dimmed for the sake of keeping peace. But not anymore. This is your moment to reclaim your fire, not with flames of destruction, but with the quiet blaze of knowing who you are. And if you're ready to step forward not out of anger, but out of clarity, I invite you to declare it with one simple line. I release to make room for the new. Write it below. Whisper it if you need to. But speak it into the atmosphere of your life. Because this is not about letting go to be alone. It's about letting go to make space. For truth. For alignment. For relationships that reflect your growth, not your guilt. For opportunities that expand you, not exhaust you. You are not losing something, you are shedding what was too small for who you're becoming. So don't be afraid of the shift. Don't be afraid of the silence after the storm. That silence is where new life begins. And you, Leo, are standing right at the edge of a breakthrough not everyone is meant to witness. Walk away gently, but do not look back. The road ahead is waiting, and it's lit with everything your soul has longed for. And now, dear Leo, as this message comes to a close, I want you to take one more sacred breath and remember this. You are not here to burn out in someone else's fire. You are the flame itself. You were never meant to be the ashes left behind. You were born to rise, to reignite again and again. Everything you've just heard is not random. It's not entertainment. It's alignment. That betrayal you sense. It's not the end. It's the spark. The universe didn't place that breaking point in your path to punish you. It's a divine invitation to break free from every version of yourself that learned to survive instead of shine. You've outgrown the cage, Leo. Now it's time to outgrow the silence. And yes, I know it takes courage. It takes courage to admit what no longer serves you. To let go of the person, the pattern, or the belief that kept you small. But you are not here to shrink. You are here to stretch. To burn bright. To claim what is already circling you, truth, destiny, and soul-level abundance. So I ask you now, with full presence, what are you still holding on to, even though your soul has already outgrown it? What would shift in your life if you finally released it, not with blame, but with peace? And most importantly, what could open up if you stopped fearing the truth and started trusting your path? Let me leave you with this affirmation. Speak it if it resonates. Write it in the comments if you're ready to claim it. Leo, release what no longer serves me. I welcome truth, destiny, and the soul wealth that is already seeking me. And if these words have stirred something inside you today, even if it's just a flicker, then please don't let it fade. Let it grow. Let it breathe. Let it become your next bold step forward. You are not alone in this transformation. You are walking beside thousands of awakened souls who are also remembering who they truly are. If this message spoke to you, inspired you, or gave you clarity, I lovingly invite you to click like, subscribe to this channel Eternal Mindfulness, and share your energy with us in the comments below. When you write it, you don't just express it, you activate it. You create ripples. You make your truth magnetic. Let this be the moment you choose you. Not the past version. Not the fear. But the fierce, clear, powerful light of who you are becoming. And from the depths of my spirit, thank you for being here. Thank you for opening your heart to receive. Your support, your energy, and your presence mean everything. It is your belief, your healing, and your awakening that breathe life into this sacred space. So tell me, Leo, what did you feel most deeply today? What are you ready to let go of? And what breakthrough are you now ready to receive? The fire has already been lit. Now, will you let it carry you home? Until next time, stay radiant, stay bold, and never forget, you were born to lead with light.